everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're connecting from. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to Style to Impact Live. It's always a pleasure coming in and having these conversations, knowing that whether or not you're watching live or you're watching the replay, I appreciate you being here. If you're here live, let me know in the chat. I'm actually broadcasting to a couple of platforms. I'm trying Twitter for the first time, so I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Yeah, so if you are here live, let me know in the chat that you're here. If you are coming back, you came back to watch the replay. Thank you very much for coming back and listening to today's conversation. Before I start any of these conversations, I like to start off with a wellness check-in because I think it's important for us to just take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to tap into how we're feeling, and also to identify what are some tools, what is it we need to show up as our best self. So if you're here, let me know how you're doing. What's the weather like in your neck of the woods? How you feeling? And of course, how can I support you along the way? Right now, I don't know. I guess because I added another platform that I'm streaming to, but today I'm having that nervous energy in my hands. It's kind of crazy because I've been doing live streams for a while now, right? You think public speaking and live streaming, I wouldn't feel as nervous, but it happens, right? I'm feeling nervous today, so I would love to have your support in the chat. If you're new to this space, I'm Salida Roberts. I'm the founder of Style to Impact, and I truly believe that representation is not just you being in the room or having a seat at the table, but it's also how you show up in those rooms that you're going into. Are you bringing your full and authentic self in those spaces? Are the spaces that you're entering supporting you to bring your full and authentic self into those spaces? And of course, I encourage you, if the space is not built for your full and authentic self, your voice, your identity, your opinion, your personality, and it's challenging, it's overwhelming, and it's depleting you, maybe it's time for you to find a new room to be in, one that you can truly show up as your full and authentic self. Today's live, I decided I'm going to do something a bit different. Normally, I come on these conversations and I share with you tips and strategies to really elevate your image and style, to be able to boost your confidence and show up as your best self. But I decided today that I'm going to do a mini style class. So instead of calling it a master class, I'm calling it a style class. And we're going to be talking today about taking your image to the next level. So I'm going to share with you in this mini style class, I'm going to share with you why your style is important, and of course, how can you take your image to the next level, right? How can we get your image to that level where you are attracting the opportunities that you need? Not only feeling confident, but you're attracting the opportunities that you need. So let's dive into the conversation. Why your image matters. People will make assumptions based on how you enter a room, how you show up in a space, images you post on your social media, on your digital, how you building your digital presence. People will make assumptions based on how you present yourself. Like it or not, that is a fact. So I posted this image on both LinkedIn and Instagram. On Instagram, I started the caption with "Service to humanity is the best work of life." And on LinkedIn, I started the caption with "I made you look." With Within the caption, I went on to explain some of my favorite TED Talks, the ones that I really like, and of course, that I'm volunteering this year with TEDx Atlanta. But everyone looking at the image saw TEDx Atlanta, speaker mixer, and automatically assumed that I was a speaker, that I'm doing my first TED Talk. So I got messages like, "Congratulations, I love this for you. This is awesome." Because everybody looked at the image and made an assumption. So this is one reason why your image matters. When you walk into a space, Before anyone can learn about you, what is it you do and your expertise, people are evaluating and drawing conclusions based on how you enter that space, how you show up. And that's reason number one why your image matters. How you show up matters. Here's another reason: you get everyone talking about you. Women's sports is something that we've been competing over time to get the same attention, the same pay rate, equal pay, uh, visibility as the men's league. But it's something that the media tend not to cover, right? They don't pay much attention to us. They don't give us much value when it comes to the sports that we take part in. But what I love, and over the years, as we're growing, and we're trying to create um, environments where we are respected and we are seen as experts and we are viewed in the same light as our male counterparts, right? Especially in the sporting arena, where female basketball, female sports is not something like even tennis. Um, Not a lot of media coverage is given to that. What I absolutely love that's happening right now, because not only are, especially in women's basketball, the athletes are so talented. They're doing, on and off the court, they're making an impact, right? They're using their voices, they're speaking up, they're amazing basketball players. Like, I don't know much about basketball, so I'm not gonna go into the actual sport. But what I am intrigued about is the fact that the coaches have now used the way they're presenting themselves as a way of creating conversation around the sport, around women's basketball games. And so you find, like, if you Google right now, there's so many media outlets that have covered what these coaches are wearing. Like, coaches are making a fashion statement from the sidelines. That's a big conversation. What that has done, it has brought attention to not just the coach, but the team. It has encouraged, created an environment where news outlets are now paying attention to the sport, paying attention to women's sports, women's events, because everybody's talking about what the coaches are wearing. And then the players, by extent, because they're now surrounded with women who are embracing their authentic self, who are showing up and expressing their individuality. They're doing it themselves as well, right? From wearing a crown, from the way they're accessorizing their uniforms to bring more of their personality to it. We see that, which means everybody starts to talk about them. And that's what you want. You want people to talk about you, but you want to be talked about in a positive light. And this is what we're going to talk about today. How can you take your image to the next level so that you can increase your visibility and value? When people are talking about you, when people are paying attention to you, when your image is communicating the right message that you want to, you increase not only your visibility, because then you start being exposed to different brands, different media outlets, but you're also increasing your value. Because, I mean, if you're following some of these women coaches, it's like Coach Carter, Sydney Carter, which is, she's wearing this. I absolutely love this outfit. I've seen so many sponsorship deals that she's gotten in the last, well, I would say this year, that I've seen so far, because now her value went up because everybody's talking about her. So the goal is to wear your confidence. That's the goal. That's how you increase your value and your visibility. by wearing your confidence, meaning wearing clothes that you feel confident in, and you're projecting that level of confidence to everyone that's seeing you, whether or not that's at a networking event, whether or not you're going in for an interview, whether or not you are negotiating a contract. Your value, because you're wearing your confidence, automatically your value goes up because people are seeing you in a different light. So, how do we do that? How do we wear our confidence? We have to look at the fit factor. I say the fit factor is the it factor. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. If your clothes don't fit you well, it decreases your value and no one is paying attention to you. Because it's like, oh, attention to detail is not something that you clearly pay attention to. So when it comes to the fit factor, what are those factors? One, you have to look at your vertical proportions. You also have to look at your horizontal proportions and your body circumference. What does that all mean? Vertical proportions, meaning are you tall, are you short? Right? Simple as that. Your horizontal proportions is basically your when we take your measurements for your shoulder, your back, and your waist and your hips, right? That's your measurement. Your circumference of your body is looking at your bust, your waist, like what are those measurements? Because you might have experienced where maybe someone has the same, they're like, oh, I'm 5 feet and I weigh 135 pounds, or I'm 5 feet and 115 pounds. But body wise, they look completely different from you. And here is one caveat that I want to add to this. When it comes to fit, it has nothing to do with your weight. I'm going to repeat that again. Fit has nothing to do with your weight. It has to do with how is your body proportioned? What are your measurements? This is why it's critical when you're thinking about buying new clothes, you're going shopping, or you're trying to understand how to dress your body type. You have to understand your measurements. You have to understand and dressing for your body based on your height, vertical proportions, based on your bust, waist, hip measurements. All those play into how well your clothes fit you. If you're not paying attention to that, then of course you end up wearing clothes that looks like this, right? You're wearing clothes, but it doesn't add um, any interest. It doesn't allow you to wear your confidence. This, if we're being honest, looks very sloppy, right? Looks very sloppy. It doesn't matter if you're wearing casual clothing or you're wearing, your personal style is casual or your personal style is creative. It doesn't matter what your personal style is. What matters is how your clothes fit you, right? And this is something that I go into detail with my clients when I'm working with them, is to really, when we're talking about analyzing their body type, is to get deep into, okay, how tall are you? How short are you? What are your measurements? And then identifying clothes that complements their body type. So I'll give you an example. If you are viewed as someone who is short, and this is anything under from 5'8", not 5'8", from 4'8" going up. If you're that height and you are purchasing, like, let's say pants is your go to piece to wear in your wardrobe. When you are purchasing your pants or when you're wearing pants, as someone who's under 5 feet, you cannot wear a pants that was meant for someone who's over 5 feet. So you either have to go and shop petite, or you have to get your pants tailored to fit you. And this is where understanding your body proportions, understanding your vertical lines, understanding your frame, your structure is crucial to wearing clothes that fits you. The other thing that you can do that happens when in order to increase your visibility and value by taking your image to the next level is to color your confidence. Color your confidence is, as you can see, I'm wearing something very colorful today. My lighting is a bit off today because I'm getting shadows all over. I'm getting shadows all over. But even though I'm getting shadows all over, my light is not exactly how I want it to be. The fact that I'm wearing a color, it complements for what's happening, right? It allows me to show up a little bit more bolder and a little more brighter because I'm beaming on screen, right? It's not as dark. I add a little bit more interest to the screen. So when you're thinking about colors that you want to add to your wardrobe, color your confidence is simply identifying the colors that you absolutely love and feel great in. Now, I am not a color expert, so my way of finding my color, like I hate rules. I really do hate rules that put us in a box. I know persons say, find your best color, get a color analysis done. No, that's perfectly fine if you want to get one, color analysis done. But I say, when it comes to personal style, when it comes to finding what works for you, is to have fun with it. And one of the ways that I really have fun with finding my colors is to wear colors, right? If I see, like I saw this top that I'm wearing, absolutely loved it. And it was close to, I've worn a similar color to this already, and my brand color is somewhat similar to this. And so I'm like, oh, I'm just going to try it, right? I'm going to try it and see how it looks. I'm going to accessorize it the way that I want to express my personality and style. And that's what I do. So even looking at this example of this image here, if you were someone who was deep into corporate where conform to the full corporate uniform of wearing that black and white, but now you're like, I need to build my personal brand. I need to show up for myself, express a little bit more of my personality. But you're struggling in terms of how do you do that? How do you add colors to your wardrobe? Right? Because it's not always easy. I'm going to admit that when you're coming from that background where you would have conformed to that way of dressing, and now you want to step out and be a little bit more creative with your style, be a little bit more expressive in your image and in your personal brand, it may feel uncomfortable. Here's my suggestion. As you can see from this image, one of the primary colors that most persons go for is black. Okay, let's grab that black outfit. If that's you, that's okay. Let's elevate that. Let's add a little bit more creativity to that. So in this image, what I did is to swap the black skirt for a navy blue pleated skirt. So instead of that straight corporate uniform skirt suit, I swapped that out for something with a little bit more personality, navy blue pleated, and add the color to the top half of the body. That way, you're bringing more light to your face. That way, you're bringing more air to your personality and just the way you show up. So, this is a perfect example as to how you can go about incorporating colors into your wardrobe, because colors is what's going to draw people's attention to you. Imagine if all of us showed up wearing this black and white uniform and you're trying to build your visibility, you're trying to increase your availability, you're trying to increase your value because you want to raise your rates, maybe you want to speak on bigger stages, maybe you want to interview for your favorite, or that company that you always want to work for. One way of really increasing your visibility, of really taking your image to the next level, is to add colors. Colors create conversation. That is what you want to do. Mirror your mood and message. If we go back to the slide that I talked about, those coaches that are now creating a conversation not only around themselves but around the sport. What they have done is tapped into their personal style, how they want to feel, and the message that they want to translate. And this is what you want to do when it comes to taking your image to the next level so that you can increase your visibility and your value. You have to mirror your mood and your message. What do I mean by that? It's simple. If you're saying that you are someone who likes to have fun, you want to be vibrant, you want to be able to connect with warmth, you want to look sophisticated. Like if you're saying that's who you are, and you're looking in your closet and there's all black, there's nothing that aligns with how you want to show up, then that simply means that your message is not in alignment with your image. And so you want to bring the two in alignment by simply projecting your confidence and how you feel and how you want people to feel about you. How do you go about doing that? I like to ask my clients to think about 3 words that they want to use to define or describe who they are as individuals and how they want to be seen in their brand and their business. So, for instance, one of my words is that I always want to be bold, right? I always want to be bold, not just bold in my style, bold in my message, bold in how I approach business, how I approach life. So, this is why being bold for me is challenging the status quo in terms of how women should show up and how women see themselves in the spaces that they go in, challenging appearance bias. That's me being bold. The way that I connect that to my brand and what I'm wearing is to wear bold colors. I may wear black occasionally, but I'm going to add a bold color to that. So think about 3 words that you want to use to describe yourself and how you want to feel in your clothes, and as well, what message you want your audience to get from you. So those 3 words does 3 things. It tells a story of you, it connects you and your audience, and it empowers you. So think about 3 words that really allows you to do that, right? So that uh, So that's how you take your image and style to the next level so that you can attract those opportunities, so that you can become more visible in your brand. If you're joining me late on this live, I'm going to go that over. The first thing that you want to do is to look at your fit. Fit is important. Is your clothes fitting your body? You want to add colors, be bold, be vibrant. You don't have to go full neon, full orange, full red, full pink, full blue. You can add colors by accessorizing your look or by maybe just going half and half, bottom dark, and the top half of your body, the way you dress on top, adding colors to that. But be intentional about it and be open to trying new colors and being able to, just have fun with it, right? Style is supposed to be fun. You are a fun person. Tap into that fun side of you. And if you are looking to be a little bit more at ease and a little bit more vibrant and fun, add those colors to your personality because it's going to allow you to be like, oh, I'm wearing something fun today, or to bring out your fun side. And as well, mirror your message. Make sure that the way you are showing up not only um, connects to how you're feeling, but it connects to the message that you want people to have about you. Because, as I said before, your image matters because people are going to make judgments based on how you show up, right? How you enter a room, what you're wearing creates a conversation. And it's up to you to decide what conversations do you want people to have about you, right? To stand out in the right way to make sure that you are getting those opportunities that you're looking for. Now, if you are looking for ways in which you can work with me, just to give you a couple ways that you can work with me, Is first of all personal style development. That's me working with you one on one to develop your personal style, to help you understand how to dress your body type, and of course what are some of the pieces that you should add into your closet that's going to allow you to stand out in a positive light so that you can get those opportunities that you're looking for. The other way that I work, you can partner with me, is through workshops and training. I do workshops and training on image, the importance of your image when it comes to boosting your career, your business, trainings on appearance bias, how we can dismantle that, how we can redefine professionalism to make it more inclusive and not exclude women of color and underrepresented groups and people. And of course, wardrobe styling for your brand photo shoot. So if you're updating your brand, and one of the things that clients struggle with is like, what do I wear for my brand photo shoot, right? Because your brand photo shoot, those pictures becomes a representation of your brand, the message, and how you want to show up in your business. So if you're looking for any of these three, then of course I invite you to on LinkedIn. You can DM me if you want. You can also email me at solita@styletoimpact.com. So that's it. I tried something new. Let me know your thoughts on this new format that I'm trying when it comes to doing LinkedIn Live, just to give you a little bit more um, to teach you and give you a little bit more value when it comes to the importance of your image and style and making it work for you to be able to get those opportunities that you're looking for. Thank you all very much for joining me. If we haven't been connected as yet, if we're not connected as yet, then I encourage you to hit that follow button here on LinkedIn. If you're on Twitter, hit that follow button as well. And of course, remember that representation is not just you being in the room or having a seat at the table, but it's also how you show up. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.